I feel extremely lucky that I get to work with this material at all. What are the chances that a kid from the islands would discover glass and then fall in love with it?
Hi, I'm Davin Ebanks, Caymanian artist and educator. My inspiration is really simple. It comes from where I'm from.
In particular, that pervasive nature of water. It's in all the work somewhere, and the glass kind of relates to that liquid that has then been frozen.
I grew up fishing with my grandfather off Bosun Bay before I can remember. Cracking soldiers for squabs, pulling fish traps in 200 fathoms of water with 180-pound test hand line, sinking fish pots from Northwest Point to Redley Schoolhouse, trolling with hand line for bonitas in Wahoo, and listening to my grandfather's stories, while we fished and cleaned those fish. Some of the stories he told me were about his father, Leighton Ebanks. Everybody just called him Duxie. He was like my grandfather. He was a fisherman, fished for shark, turtle, lobster, and everything off the Mosquito Keys. My great grandfather was on the Majestic and survived, got off before it went down. He was a builder, a carpenter, built tree cat boats on his own to fish out of during his lifetime. Those stories, really got me invested in researching more about my history and the Cayman culture and heritage. And that's where a lot of my work is still coming out of, whether that's personal experiences or, these more general cultural narratives. The artists that I look at, I think it's fair to say that almost every artist that's been educated in the West of my generation, is either deeply influenced by abstract expressionism, postmodernism, or minimalism. For me, I know that I'm deeply influenced by the use of the grid. Agnes Martin, Saul LeWitt, Donald Judd. There's this tension in me between, paring away information and then what to keep. So artists that I really enjoy, that I think can find some of that balance. Fred Wilson, African American artist, sculptor, you should look him up. Kahindi Wiley, everybody knows, he's the painter who did the Obama's portraits. I love that tension that he has between the obsessive pattern usage and then the very naturalistic rendering in almost classical style of the portrait.
Working with glass in the hot shop in its molten state is this strangely traditional experience at the same time, as it's very immediate. You're constantly responding to this material and to the new possibilities that open up with it.
But I can't do that right now because of the coronavirus quarantine. Not only is do I require a kind of industrial studio, furnaces and kilns, torches and saws and all this stuff, but I also require a team. I usually work with at least 2 people, if not up to 5 sometimes for some of my more involved works. These assistants without which I could not make this work. And so obviously I can't do that right now. So I've had to revert back to some of the other work that I've done that's more two-dimensional. Most of the time it ends up being printmaking or sandblasting or casting stuff. But what I can do is I can generate a lot of that work and the ideas for that work on the computer. And that work will eventually make its way into the physical form. But this allows me the computer allows me a very quick way, not just to generate the finished look of an idea and know that it's worth the time and effort and money to turn it into a glass sculpture, but but also it's a way of me for actually, it's part of my practice of how I generate ideas and how I work. um, I think of work, making artwork, working on art, as encompassing a lot of different methods of working, sketching and writing and thinking about things and in with just like maybe free associative, thought bubbles, computer generated stuff, photography, going and doing reference material, researching. All that stuff is work. And of course, it all leads you to the final product. Welcome to my quarantine studio space. Hold on, let me turn down the music a little bit. So yeah, this is my studio space. It's just a guest room we just turned into a study slash studio. So I've got my workstation over here, some wax models I've been working on, all my tools and stuff I like to have out where I can reach them. This is some more wax models, inspiration wall, some current projects. That is going to be a halftone liquid luster wherever the silver is, and everything else is black glass. So gold luster there, working on some shiny stuff. Actually, here's my workstation with my computer, got it pulled up. So this is generating a halftone pattern, more black glass, liquid luster, hopefully for the future. Little workstation here. Got my guitar, if I ever need to play music and chill out and relax, it helps a lot. Let's see what else. Oh yeah, got my window. It's really quite a small little space, but I sit in front of this, look out when it's raining, which it often is here. Fly tying vise, also for chilling out, and tying flies for whenever I can go fishing again. Friends' artwork and stuff on the walls. One of my favorite photographs of East End that my wife took when we lived in Cayman. Love that. So yeah, that's about it, man. I appreciate you taking the time to watch this, and stay safe, stay home if you have to, and we'll see you soon, hopefully. Cheers.